Hi guys, welcome back to Call to Stage with me, Amber Davis. I have a beautiful woman sitting next to me. You took my breath away when you walked in. It's the incredible Katie Hall. Hello. We were just comparing nails because you're allowed green as Sally.
I have to have green.
Have to have green.
Yeah.
Is it because it's in the script?
It's in the script.
And
yeah.
I have to have pink because it's in my script.
Yeah. Can you have like different kinds of pink though?
Yes, but like, do I want to experiment with pink? Pink and green.
They go good together. Wicked.
First things first, as Sally, we're going to get into Sally in a minute. Because wow, what a role.
Oh my gosh.
These Sally Bowles.
No, I can't. I still honestly can't believe it's happening. I can't believe I get to do it, honestly. It's literally my dream role.
Oh my God, that brings me so much joy. Have you got any quirky rituals as her?
As Sally? No, I mean, we do like a group warm up, and then I've got like my amazing singing teacher, Claire Underwood, has got like a Sally specific warm up that she's done for me. It literally contains the line, I'm Sally Bowles.
I love that.
Yeah, so that's it really. That's all
Is that it?
Yeah, and then I just
Chilled girl.
I have to do, like, it's quite extreme makeup. I don't know if you've seen.
Yes,
like,
I have.
Yeah, that's.
How long does that take?
Usually I have to get my pin curls in before warm up, and then if I start straight away, if I start at like 1:30, then I'm just about ready for the show. Yeah.
And are you on at beginners?
I come out like, it's not quite beginners. I come out in Willkommen.
At the top.
From the balcony, yeah, and then I've got a bit of a little break after that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then it's mental.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it the biggest track you've done?
Oh God, by
a mile.
Yeah, by an absolute mile. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like, it's quite emotionally.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to say draining, but it's not draining because it's obviously a gift to play Sally Bowles. But as in, like, you have to go deep. You have to dig deep.
Yeah.
Do you do that when you step onto stage, or is there any type of anything you do before?
No, I sort of just try and let it come out naturally in the moment, and I found that quite. I mean, it's so the script is just so perfect,
well written,
so well written that like it literally does it all for you, and if you just jump on the train, then you
get on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so interesting. Tell me everything from the moment that you got a call from your agent saying they want to see you as Sally Bowles. Like, what were you thinking?
Well, it was quite a long journey, honestly, because I took my husband to see the show for his birthday like 2 years ago, and I remember going to see. I'd always wanted to play Sally, but then I saw this production, and I was like, oh my God! And I saw Self-Esteem, and she was absolutely incredible. And I remember seeing this production and going, okay, I have to do it in that production. Yeah. And I spoke to my agent after that. I was like, you got to get me in a room. And he's like, there isn't a room to get you in. If there is, I will. And almost 2 years later, he's like, I think I'm going to get you an audition for Sally. It took a long time, and I sort of had the material to try and work on it for a long time, and I worked on it for like ages before the audition.
So you were prepared when that audition came?
Yeah, I knew I only had like the one shot. So that came in. And the audition was so lovely, honestly.
Really?
Yeah,
intimate.
Really different to any audition I'd done before. They kind of like, there was no desk. They literally just sat on stools and had such a lovely chat with the director and the MD, and we talked about the role and what I thought about it, and it just made, like, obviously you're going to get better work out of people if you make them comfortable. Yeah. So yeah.
God, you are like, you look like Sally.
Thank you. Well,
you do. Like, you have a very natural-esque Sally about you.
But it's something that I've always thought that, like, it's kind of just a slightly camper version of me. I kind of talk like Sally. Anybody who knows me well knows that, like, I've got that theatricality.
You do?
But, yeah,
it's actually, like, mesmerising to, like, be opposite. Because, like, you are her.
I love you for saying that.
Really, really, really. So then you started rehearsals.
Well, it took a while. It was a while before the thing came through, and I just thought, oh well, that's it. I'm not gonna hear anything. And then I just couldn't believe it. And then it all happened very quickly.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, at the point when I got the offer. in for a photo shoot, and it was just, what is happening? So, like, whisked away into the hair and makeup. I felt like I won a competition. I kind of still do.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Competition winner.
Yeah, I literally feel like that. Like, oh my God, they're letting me do it. Oh my God.
Yay, I'll do it for free.
Yeah, had to like, my agent had to like stop me from saying that.
Yeah. One of those.
Yeah, so, and then the rehearsal started. I have to say, it's been quite intense because my husband is a remote location film director. He runs his own film agency, and they do like adventure media films. He's currently on directing a Netflix series in Antarctica. Casually.
You choose them well, my love.
He's amazing though, honestly. There's no way I could do this job without him. Absolutely not in a million years. But so he'd had this job in for ages, and then the Sally thing happened very quickly, and I was like, oh God,
what are we going to do?
Yeah. So he's away in Antarctica, and I was doubling up rehearsing Cabaret during the day and then playing Fantine in the evening for a few weeks. And
with two children.
And I mean, the only way we've made it work is we've managed to find this incredible nanny. I mean, thank God.
Wow.
But so it was intense.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You're living your best life.
I am living my best life.
It was intense.
But it's very intense, yeah.
Yeah. God, that is a lot to take on. How quickly was it from the offer to opening night? I
think the offer came through maybe like early December, end of November, something like that. That sounds about right. December. It was like December time. And then I started, we had a couple of days prep in like December, like around the 17th of December, a couple of days before Christmas. And then, a couple of days before Christmas. And then we started rehearsals on the 2nd of January. Yeah, it was quite quick. It was quite quick.
Oh my goodness. And then when did you find out you were going to do with Matt?
When the offer came through, because they'd that was all I think they'd signed him beforehand.
Yeah. Have you met Matt before?
No, I'd never met him before, no.
Were you like, oh my gosh?
Yeah, it was really exciting to me. I didn't meet him until like a couple of days into the rehearsals. And actually in the show, Sally and MC don't really do very much together. No, you don't. So it was a little bit like, I don't know, he'd be rehearsing like a number in one room, I'd be doing something in another room, and we just sort of like said hello, and that was it. Yeah. So yeah, but it was quite nice because we are the only two new people in the company.
Oh wow, so you're doing it together.
Yeah. So
and everybody else has remained the same.
Yeah, so they like put in a new Sally and MC every 4 months.
Yeah.
Or so, which I think is one of the great things about the show, and that every 4 months the show completely changes around the artist.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you're seeing a totally different version of the show.
I know.
Yeah. So.
I'm just so happy that you're living your dream role.
Yeah, it is. I feel very lucky, honestly. Yeah.
And just talking about kids, is it a lot?
Do you want the sugar-coated version?
No,
or the real?
I want the real, genuine version, because I know at some point I'm going to be a working mum in this industry, so I want to know it.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Is it?
Yeah, I think any parent will tell you that once you become a parent, there's just like a huge dose of guilt that comes along with anything you do. You feel guilty for, I obviously feel guilty for not being there, particularly at bedtimes, because that's a really hard thing with our job, that you don't get to be there in the evenings.
Yeah.
And, once I think my kids thought I lived in London and that they lived, I don't know, all sorts of it's really hard. And
are they old enough to explain to them?
Yeah, so my eldest is 5 and my youngest is 3.
Okay.
But when I started working, Alice, my eldest, was 8 months when I went back to work. So, and I've kind of been
working ever since.
Yeah. I had a break. Well, I had Ollie, my son.
Your youngest.
Yeah, but it's been quite full on.
So it's the guilt.
Yeah, the guilt's one of the hardest things, and also the exhaustion is.
I know, because I was just thinking then when you come home from a show, you're up in the morning with them.
Yeah, and I don't live in London. I live in Suffolk, so I walk through my door at 1 a.m.
Okay.
And then so luckily people do tend to help me out in the morning. So my nanny will help me and get up with the kids in the morning, or my husband when he's there.
When he's there,
which he normally is. It's just an extreme period of time at the moment. And then you're getting up at like 6:30 to do the school run or something, and that's not enough sleep.
No. Would you come back and sleep in the day then?
Sometimes.
No, because you got the 3-year-old.
Today I had a nap.
You did?
I did the school run this morning and then I came back and I had a nap.
Wow, yeah. I'm so happy for you. What a day. Katie got her nap.
I got a nap. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like you are a superwoman, and you emotionally you have to deal with all of those emotions yourself as well, you know, and it's just like super mum.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for saying that. I don't feel like it a lot of the time. I feel like I have an unbelievable support network around me. Like,
is that the key?
I think so. I wouldn't be able to do it without I mean, honestly, my husband is absolutely incredible. Yeah.
How long? And then, so you've obviously been with your husband, so he knows the industry you're in.
Yeah.
So you had all that conversation prior. Yeah.
When we first got together, I was auditioning for Sweeney Todd, and I remember saying, the audition went really well. They're going to put me on a tape for Sondheim, and he was like, "Who's Sondheim?" I was like, "Wow."
Right. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Let's open a glass of wine. And let's talk about this.
Yeah. He knows now.
He does.
Yeah. 8 years married.
Good to know. When you got offered Sally, you were playing Fantine in Les Mis.
That's right, yeah.
Les Mis has been a massive part of your life, hasn't it?
Yeah, huge. Absolutely huge. I mean, the biggest show, the show that's had the biggest impact on my life.
On your
probably.
life.
Yeah.
Because you were in for, you were Cosette originally.
Yeah.
And then you've now went back and played Fantine.
Yeah.
Like, is that incredible?
It was so cool. Yeah. I still had moments in the epilogue scene at the end when Fantine comes on as a ghost. Spoiler alert, she dies, obviously.
Yeah.
Everyone knows
I think, do we all know that?
Surely on your podcast, everybody knows Fantine dies.
Yeah.
And then Cosette comes on at that final scene. I did have moments watching the Cosettes come on and going, oh, like a full circle kind of proud moment, which is always lovely. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was... when I played Cosette, I always wanted to play Fantine. Yeah, because I just thought it looked so much fun, yeah.
That is insane. How old were you when you first played Cosette?
I think I was 18.
Wow.
I think.
Just a baby.
Like, only just, like, nearly 19, but yeah.
Wow. Because you trained at the National Youth Music Theatre.
Well, so I didn't technically, I didn't go to drama school, but I did go to NYMT, yes, which was, I mean, that's where we say I trained, which...
Okay,
yeah,
you didn't.
No, I mean, no, I went on, do you remember that programme, I Do Anything?
I was going to talk to you about I Do Anything and Eurovision.
Oh, Eurovision. God, I've forgotten that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet the big one was that I Do Anything, because that's when I...
Which one was that?
Nancy.
Oh yeah, I Do Anything.
Yeah.
Duh. So okay. So, did you just go straight onto that?
It's okay. So when I
want to know everything.
Okay, because it's quite a fun story. So I auditioned for that show, and I ended up getting put through to Nancy School. And so I was never on any of the live shows, but I was on like a couple of the episodes.
Okay.
But I think the general consensus was that I was too posh to play Nancy.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
where are you from? Where were you brought up?
Have you ever heard of Rutland?
No.
No, it's the smallest county in England. That's where I'm from. But
wow.
It's like,
where is it, like, on the map?
It's like near Leicestershire, kind of.
Wow.
The next county along. Yeah.
Yeah, you are. You have got a very RP accent.
Yes, I suppose so.
I love that. So you and did somebody pick you up from there then?
Yeah. So then I got cut, and then I was literally still in school. I was 17, and then I got a call from Trevor Jackson, Cameron's casting director, saying, "Oh, we saw you on the programme. We need a cover Christine. Will you come to London and audition?" And that was my dream role at the time. It was my absolute dream. So I literally got the day off school, went to the audition, and then the next day I got a call during my French lesson, and I had to go, sorry, I've got to take
agents calling.
Got to take this. And then they said I'd got the job, and I started in 10 days. So I literally just left school. 10 days later, I started rehearsals for Phantom. Yeah, it was quite extreme. So that's how I...
A young Christine as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, thank God I covered it first. I'm so glad I covered it rather than like playing a role first, because I learned so much.
Yeah, on the job.
Yeah, you have so much like the etiquette. You don't learn any of that at any point. So.
And when did you discover your voice?
Well, my parents were both opera singers.
Wow!
So that was always a part of my life. I like grew up around music. I remember not being able to sleep because they were like practicing for their next roles in the dining room downstairs or whatever.
What a childhood!
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm very grateful to have had that, and my parents have both helped me with my singing at various points in my career, and they still do to this day. You know,
I love that.
Yeah, so I just was obsessed with it growing up. I can't remember.
Well, it was all you've ever known.
Yeah.
It's all your ears have ever heard. You know. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, it was always musicals for me rather than opera.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, I just thought, they're just better, aren't they?
I don't think I've ever seen an opera.
Have you not?
No. I need to do that, don't I?
Yeah, I mean, they are wonderful. I just, musicals is my bag.
Yeah, I rather tits and teeth. Yeah. Give me a bit Mamma Mia.
Absolutely.
Give me a bit of ABBA. So then you did that. So then from Christine First Cover, what did you go on to next? It was that, then Cosette?
Then it was Cosette and
then you were Cosette.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was it.
But it's weird because I know I say that your mannerisms and everything are Sally, but you do look like a Cosette. Do you know what I mean?
Like a grown-up Cosette.
you just have like a Cosette look about you.
Baby face.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had that before.
Baby face. Like clean. Like you're just clean girl vibes.
Clean girl.
You're a clean girl.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Like we wouldn't catch you like falling asleep with your makeup on.
Oh. No, sure not. Absolutely. If that's the impression I'm giving, I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah. And then you did the arena tour.
Yeah. I mean, I did the arena tour when
last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Because my sister's on that right now.
I know.
Do you know my sister?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, what?
Yeah, because she joined halfway through. I did 8 weeks on the tour, but she joined kind of further along. When
she
I can't remember
did.
what venue she started in?
She started in Abu Dhabi.
But she was rehearsing beforehand.
In Switzerland.
Yes, that's it. Because that's the bit I was doing. Yeah, in Sweden.
So did you see her?
Yes.
In Switzerland. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we did work together. Yeah, we like hung out and went for drinks together and stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
In Amsterdam. That's it, yeah.
I was just on FaceTime with her this morning. I should have said.
Oh, please give her a big hug from me.
Oh, I love that. Do you think your journey the door will ever be closed with Les Mis?
I mean, there is a saying that anyone who's been in Les Mis says you'll never leave Les Mis.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say no, probably not. No.
And good for you.
Yeah.
You've done an array of things, but what stood out to me a lot is Johanna and Sweeney Todd.
Oh, that was an amazing job.
Wow.
It was a really cool job because it was such a short job and like such a specific thing, because it was that production where it was set up and billed as like a concert, and it was a kind of like a semi-stage concert, but we walked on stage at the top of the show and stood in front of the music stands, and the idea was to give the audience the impression that, oh God, they're just going to stand there and sing it. And then we like started singing and like threw the music stands into the pit and like started destroying the set and like ripping bits of Emma Thompson's dress off. It was so cool. It was honestly, that job was seriously cool.
Wow.
We ended up like turning the big grand piano upside down, and like it was such a cool production, that.
Oh my gosh.
But it was very short.
How long?
It was only about, I feel like it can't have been more than like 3 weeks run. I can't quite remember exactly how long.
And they're just like, and they're the ones that you just are like, oh, I could do this forever.
Totally, yeah.
Wow. Was that one of the jobs that you thought, I'll remember this forever?
Yeah, I mean, I remember them all for different reasons. You know, there have been some.
What job would you say was like, wow, like a wow moment for you?
I mean, Cosette and Fantine was pretty cool.
It's huge.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You didn't do that with Jade, did you?
No,
she wasn't a swing for you there.
No, because I did it. I did a bit of time in London, and then I did the alternate in London. Then I did the tour.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Another role that I think that door will always be open as well.
Well, I mean, not for Christine because she's 17.
Oh, yeah, but you could pull up a 17-year-old.
I love you for saying that.
You 100% could. Clean chic vibes. You could 100% pass for a 17-year-old. In a wig? In a brunette wig?
In the wig.
Yes, my love.
Well, I've had 2 children.
I know, but you cannot. It's not showing on the forehead. Honestly, what is the secret? Out of these 3 that I picked, bearing in mind, like, I was just picking my favourites out of your CV of, like, what I'd want to talk about. Candy's Oklahoma Fiddler on the Roof.
Candied Oklahoma Fiddler on the Roof. I mean, my favourite from that was Oklahoma, and that was one of my favourite jobs of all time.
And that was at the Grange Park Opera.
Yeah, Grange Park Opera, that's right, yeah. And it was just the cast were incredible, and the director we worked with.
Who was it?
She was Jo Davies.
Yeah.
She was just amazing, and like to this day is one of the best directors I've ever worked with. And like I still remember things that she said and the way that she directed. She sort of shook things up for me a little bit with
really,
the acting,
like opened your third eye.
Just made me work harder than I'd ever worked, which was so I respond really well to that. Like I'm not very good at tough love. Yeah. That's
Same.
absolutely my bag. Is it?
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have to tell me firmly and ask me firmly. You know what I mean? What star sign are you?
Virgo, I think, yeah. Which doesn't track at all, honestly. But I'm so disorganised.
Are you?
Yeah.
You have your life together?
I do not at all.
Do you not?
No. I'm like a swimming. Like just about keeping my head above water, honestly. I feel like that all the time.
Well, you wear it well.
Well, thank you.
You do. And then just one more thing, sorry about Les Mis, that I wanted to ask you about. You did the film, right?
Yes.
Like, what did you do in the film?
I was in turning in that scene.
Okay.
But they cut a big chunk from the end of turning. So I remember I had like I had a solo, but what he was like going down, the camera was going down the gutter. It was everybody had their lines, and I was the last one on the line. And I remember going to watch the screening and not knowing and they just cut the whole last chunk of turning, and I was sat there like, no, what? Anyway, so I'm on the credits.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I had a lovely day filming.
And it was just one day you did?
One day.
And they kind of got like all the cast members back, didn't they?
It's like Spot the Alumni.
I know.
Really is the movie.
I was like really, really needing a cry the other day, and I thought, I'm going to watch Les Mis.
Did you?
I bought it. It was £15 to buy. I thought, what? Should I have a discount? Because my sister was once in the show. Anyway, I swear to God, I was like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even Hannah Waddingham.
Yeah. She's a factory girl, isn't she?
Yeah. And I was like, what in the Delulu is going on here?
Yeah, it's amazing when you look back on it and you see all these people. I mean, I had like Gina Beck, Claire Machin, Lindsay Haitley, were all in turning, all in that scene.
Wow. Yeah. It's just insane. I have a couple of questions that I really want to ask you before we move on to our quick fire round question, which is just like a small cute thing at the end.
Cute.
Have you got, because you've done so many incredible things, like have you got something on your career list that you absolutely are desperate to do? I know Sally is one of them, and you're ticking that hard.
Something I really want to do. I mean, I'd like to do something new. I'd like to do a new
brand
musical.
new.
Yeah.
Originate something.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
I did think about this question. I did have a thought. What was it? I'd quite like to do a play.
Wow.
Yeah, because particularly doing Cabaret as well has really because I think it's a play first.
It's a play with music.
Else. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
I've absolutely loved doing the dialogue, because obviously I've been in Les Mis for 7 years and now sung through.
So, exactly.
It's
so you want to challenge your brain.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah, I feel like that would be.
Oh, sorry. One more thing about Sally. Do you drink the egg?
Yeah.
Is it awful?
It's so awful.
How do you do eggs? I'm a gaga.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I did it, I've got a couple of videos on my Instagram, because it was like quite a big thing for me of like, it was so disgusting. And it's because the egg with the Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
I've had to practice saying that because I have to say it in the show. I had to say it so many times when I was practicing the script. The line is, it's just raw egg whooshed around in some Worcestershire sauce. It's
wow.
Seriously, such a tongue twister. But yeah, so that I mean, just do it lots of times.
Do you just do it? Do you ever have like a bad belly from it?
I had one moment where I was like, in maybe this time, which is like the next scene after that, and then I got under all the lights, I started to like cold sweat, and I was like, oh no. I was fine. It was just like a funny turn, and I was like, oh no, I had a bad egg. It's the egg. Obviously, I just drank a raw egg. Of course,
is that bad for you?
Well, I don't think so. They wouldn't let me do it if it was, would they?
No, I
should
know.
Look that up.
I wonder what the benefits are. Poppy, can you just benefits of drinking raw egg, like right here, right now? I want to see.
I would like to know if there are any.
Highly nutritious, providing a dense source of protein, healthy fat.
I told you could pass for a 17-year-old.
Antioxidant.
Antioxidant.
Oh my god, so many.
It's actually so good for you.
Yeah.
Do you do the yolk as well?
Yeah. So I literally crack take an egg out of my coat
Just
pocket.
one?
Just one. Oh my god, just one.
Imagine two scrambling it.
Take it out of my pocket, put some Worcestershire sauce in it, get a makeup brush and mix the egg with the makeup brush.
And just not ick it in one.
And then you have to really mix it. That's part of the key. You've got to get the right balance of Worcestershire sauce. I mean, it's still disgusting, but like.
And just knock it back.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just don't know if I could.
There is a vegan option, but
is it mango something?
Yeah. They try and like steer you away from that.
Yeah.
It's like, what would Sally do? You know.
What would Sally do?
I try and think that. Yeah.
But then I guess if you're like allergic to eggs,
well then obviously you can't do it. Yeah.
You can't do it. Sorry, I just think about that. Do you know sometimes I'm laying in bed at night and I just think, I can't believe Sally actually drinks an egg on stage every night.
Honestly, I get asked that question at stage door quite a lot. It fascinates people because the way that we do, you know, we've got like a clear mug. You go, it can't be. She's not going to drink that. Oh my god, she just drank it. Yeah.
It's an experience for the audience.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a round of applause, and that is very gratifying. I have to say,
like, thank you, it was worth it.
Thank you. It is worth it for the audience reaction, honestly.
Because I feel like I'd go like that, then I'd go,
but that's funny.
Yeah.
I feel like when I allow myself to let Sally find it disgusting, then that was kind of the way in. So I don't shy away from it. I go like, oh.
Yeah,
and then say the next line.
Okay. I'm just got to brace yourself. I think we've been talking about your raw egg for about 10 minutes.
Honestly, I've spoken about it so much since I got this job.
It's just so interesting to me. But at least we know it's got good health benefits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm pleased we looked that up.
Yeah. So, Phantom, call her whenever you need. The last question I want to ask you before we move on is there anyone in the industry that you are desperate to work opposite? Because I can imagine you've worked over the years among like opposite some incredible, like, you know, Mariuses and.
When you say opposite, do you mean like
work with, get
like
the best out of them?
Yeah, I love a formidable woman, like, and I mean, so I don't know. I think Jessie Buckley is absolutely incredible. Obviously, I'm slightly obsessed with her at the moment because I'm playing Sally. Yeah. I just think she's incredible. So somebody like that, some kind of really fierce actress, you know.
Strong woman.
Yeah, like when I did Sweeney, I worked with Emma Thompson and she was amazing to work with.
I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like... I'd put that on my bio on Instagram, once worked with Emma Thompson.
Yeah, I mean... I should. I will.
Okay, well, this is the end of our episode. But thank you so much for coming on. You're so beautiful. I'm going to be asking Katie some of your questions. Oh, sorry, my love. I'm going to be asking Katie some of your questions in the quick fire round. Patreon. Bye.